Story 1. Walk around in her plush, comfy robe in the evenings after her shower without a single thing on underneath. Sitting at the edge of the couch plucking her eyebrows using one of those little portable circular vanity mirrors. Opening her mouth slightly every time she goes in. Asking where her bifocals are. Placing them on. Then putting her hair up in a business mode fashion. Then sitting cross-legged before she starts paying bills and updating her finances, browsing online or reading. Walks up smiling whenever she sees me snacking. Then makes this pitch type noise, saying watching me eat gives her anxiety, before biting my shoulder and walking off. Starts bopping around and shoulder shimming whenever music is playing. Tells me not to waste money unnecessarily whenever I get excited about ordering out to try some new place. Saying, "You don't have to impress me anymore, you already got me." Before kissing me and frolicking off to make a simple dinner. Sleeps in the nude and rolls over up close, pressing herself up against me for warmth when she gets chilly. Snores like a friggin' wildebeest, which I don't know why, but I find it sexy knowing she's resting well. I don't know how many of those are done completely unconsciously, but damn, the woman turns me on at every turn. Story 2. When he comes up behind me, wraps his arms around me, and kisses me. Or when he randomly kisses me. Oh, when he is lying in bed, he puts one arm behind his head and looks so comfy. Then, if you add in his smile he sometimes does with it, I melt with all three hardcore. Story 3. He talks in his sleep and will cuddle up against me and tell me how much he loves me. Even his subconscious likes me. Then he'll talk in his sleep about his plans for our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, so I get some foreshadowing about what to expect. Story 4. He's thoughtlessly kind to the people around him. He cooks extra food to offer to a sick neighbor, notices something broken in someone's home and offers to fix it. Sees someone drop something and immediately moves to help pick it up, and so many other examples. It extends to me as well, but seeing him give that same care and consideration to the people around him that offer him no benefit or recognition is unbelievably attractive. Story 5. It's not really something she does. When we wake up on weekends, she gets up to use the bathroom wearing nothing but her sweatpants and a tank top, and her hair looks like a supernova. I don't know why, but she's never looked sexier than that. She doesn't try to be sexy. She just is. Story 6. Right after she blow dries her hair, it is warm, soft, and smells so wonderful. Then there are the weekend mornings when she is wearing loose pajamas and she stretches. I'm not sure how we only have 2 kids. Story 7. He has this way of trying to be cool. The way he moves or takes his glasses off, it was all practiced and part of a show. Now he just does it because he did it so long. But when he turns around like that and looks into my eyes with some kind of cheesy line, I just melt. Story 8. That he notices everything about me. He knows nothing about female hygiene routines or products. But if I try a new shampoo, he asks if I did something new to my hair. I try brown mascara instead of black, he asks if I changed something. Any new item of clothing that I wear, no matter how mundane, from new socks, comfy panties, and a replacement rain jacket to a new shirt or pair of shoes, he'll notice and tell me they look good on me. He never notices the new item itself. He notices how it's made subtle changes in me. It makes me feel beautiful. Story 9. When she kisses me goodbye in the morning while I'm still half asleep in bed, or vice versa when I'm up early for work and see her curled up in bed under the covers looking so cute. We work different days and times. Story 10. Sometimes when I'm talking, eating, or doing whatever and she thinks I cannot see her, I see in my peripheral vision that she is intently looking at me. She is studying my facial expressions and such. If I turn and look at her, she looks away very sheepishly and cute, like she's a little embarrassed to be caught staring. Story 11. When we have a makeout session and I am straddling him, he wraps his arms around me and hugs me closer to him. When he looks at me with desire, when he says sweet things like, "How did I get so lucky? Oh, I have missed you. Wow, you are so beautiful. And you have a special place in my heart." Story 12. Simple things to make sure I'm comfortable and cared for. I just had a medical episode, and he was so worried and attentive that I couldn't wait to jump his bones when I was able. Story 13. She does this thing where she tries her best to weird me out, but her giving me the Kubrick stare unblinking while she does some Pennywise dance is just hot as F. Story 14. I'm just beginning to see this guy, and he calls me ma'am pretty frequently. I used to hate it when people called me ma'am, but something about the way he says it is so attractive. Story 15. When I get to see her shine doing the things she's really good at, usually also involving other people out in the world. She teaches music and is a musician as well. She had a prominent gig a few years ago, where we went to see and hear her in a concert hall with expensive tickets and people dressed up. Man, my heart was racing. I think the element of my awareness that other people admire her simultaneously, and maybe even find her attractive, might even be a further booster for me. In our everyday busy life, I may sometimes forget to look at her in that way amidst lunch boxes and all the mundane things. We actually had this conversation a year ago because of one of those booster intimacy apps that we had a fun time trying. I think it was Paired. She answered approximately the same thing about me, that she thinks I'm the most attractive when I'm extremely focused and concentrated doing what I do and kind of forgetting surroundings and time. Overall, I am attracted to people who have a skill and an apparent meaningfulness in what they are doing. Story 16. She has been unable to have a baby and desperately wants to. I used to be totally against the idea, but as my parents are getting older, and I am too, I do want to have a child. Seeing her talk about them makes me wonder how happy she will be as a mom, and I do want to share that experience with her. Story 17. I love when he is deep in thought and talking about something to me. He furrows his eyebrows without knowing and runs his hand through his hair sometimes too. He looks so attractive doing it. Story 18. When she's getting ready to go out and checking her outfit in the mirror, she tilts her head to the left and does this thing with her mouth as she decides if she likes what's happening. It makes me melt every single time. We've been together for 15 years, married for 5, and I hope the way it makes my heart speed up never stops. I love her so much. Story 19. He will randomly give me a wink when he catches my glance after I look up from reading or studying, or if we are across from each other at family or friend gatherings. Story 20. The way he fixes his glasses is so incredibly cute. Oh my gosh. He also has this super goofy smile he does when he's not trying to seem cool. He also has a very small lisp where he whistles the sounds, and oh my gosh, it's so endearing. I'm a grown man. Why does this make my little heart go pitter-patter? Story 21. But still, the man was just naked all the time. Let me tell you, women are visual too. Seeing him cook naked, game naked, do laundry naked, sleep naked. Yes, sir. Story 22. He has this nervous twitch at the corner of his lip that only happens when he is excited about something. He hates it, but I love it, especially when I am the reason for it. Story 23. I was trying to think about my answer, and I heard my girlfriend do a huge fart in the other room, followed by an "oh my god." She makes me laugh all the time without meaning to. That's my answer. Story 24. Sometimes he gets hyperfixated on something, and he'll work himself up until he's gesturing, talking loudly, and maybe pacing. Every once in a while, he'll catch himself ramping up and apologize, and I always tell him not to. I love seeing him passionate about random stuff. Plus, half the time, I end up getting to learn some new nerdy, awesome thing or get to check something out from a viewpoint I hadn't considered. Story 25. Always open the door of the car when we go somewhere. He insists I stay in the car until he opens the door. Those little gentleman-like things really turn me on. Story 26. When he rolls up his sleeves, and when he unbuttons the top of his dress shirt and I see a little bit of his chest hair, I want to bury my face there. Story 27. Every now and again he'll just go really, really soft and caregiving. Like, "You forgot dinner before coming over? That's okay. Baby, I'll take care of you." The other day he wiped my chin with a napkin and called me a sweet girl, and I'm embarrassed by how much that affected me. Story 28. He works third shift. He always comes home on his break to give me a kiss, even though odds are I'll be asleep. He's done that since the first night I stayed over. It gives me a thrill. Also, he dresses casually in public, which often involves wearing pajama pants without underwear. The noticeable print and the lack of concern are both quite attractive. Story 29. She will randomly walk up to me with a serious look on her face that makes me think, oh, whether I'm in the kitchen cooking, in the living room reading, or sitting with the dog in my lap, etc. Then she takes my face in both her hands, pulls me toward her, kisses me, smiles, and then walks away. Story 30. When he comforts and disciplines our toddler, just being the solid, kind, and firm dad, it's an absolute swoon. I got to pick my husband, but my kids didn't get to pick their dad. Luckily, I did a pretty amazing job for them. Story 31. When she gets on me when I'm sitting on the couch, it just makes me melt. Whenever she puts her arms around my neck, her just casually being naked. When she dances, when she's cooking and dancing. Whenever she takes her hair down. When she drives, when I drive her and she puts her hand in my lap or under my chin. When she speaks in Spanish, I'm trying to learn. After we have a disagreement and we talk it through, she doesn't even have to do anything. It's just so hot. Whenever she tells me how much she wants me or loves me. When she walks around with her underwear on. Her in scrubs. When she's talking about things she knows her stuff about, especially medical topics, I love to see it. Story 32. When he says he is about to finish, he makes this face, his "oh, it feels really good" face, and his body trembles when I am riding him during his finishing. Story 33. I just like watching her reach up for stuff when she's wearing a sweater that doesn't go too low and yoga pants. Legs, bum, hips, waist just get me going. Story 34. Tying her hair up before starting a task always gives this focused look, and if a bit of midriff starts to show, I lose my train of thought. When I look up and catch her staring at me, I'm always met with the cutest "caught me" smile while she looks away. I melt. Whenever she's talking to me about things she's passionate about, her enthusiasm shines through every sentence, and I fall for her all over again. Story 35. He has a dog personality, and I mean that in a good way. I can leave the house for an hour, and he always genuinely looks at me like he hasn't seen me in a month and is so happy to see me again. Even after 30 years, it makes my heart burst. Story 36. Honestly, it's disgusting, and I know it is, but I have a thing for the sound he makes when he's in the shower and clearing out his nostrils and sinuses. It's so disgusting, but I just love it. Story 37. This is so random, but when we are at a bar and we are giving our order, no matter what I order, he says, "That sounds good, make it two." I do not know how to describe how attractive that is. Maybe it is the reverse of a man ordering for me, but it comes off as, "I do not care what I am having, I just want to be right here with you." Story 38. He gets this special look on his face when he's looking at our son. For the record, he is not his biological son. My son's father is a loser, but my fiancé stepped in and took over like he was made to do this. Now it's like it's always been the three of us. But the way he looks at this boy, with all the love and pride and joy, his eyes get this special shimmer. I call it his sparkly eyes. Once in a while, he gets that look when he's watching me too. I can't tell you how special it is. Story 39. He takes the lead when we are out. I love it. I do not open my own doors, pour my own drinks, or pay for anything. He puts his phone away so he is completely focused on me and the time we are spending with each other. He also does not like to sit across from me. He needs to sit next to me because he wants to be in constant contact with me. I love it. Story 40. He gets out of bed while I'm still halfway between awake and asleep, and immediately tucks the blankets around me and drops a kiss on my forehead. I'm usually awake enough to know it's happening but too asleep to do anything except smile and snuggle deeper into the blankets. Story 41. I like when she says something conceited about herself. She doesn't do it often as she's a very modest person, but I like when she gets cocky. Like, "Ooh, yes, please tell me more about how lucky I am." Story 42. Gives a care about me and other people at baseline. He is literally the kindest person I have ever met, and I am always in awe of how his brain sees things because mine has a great way of mangling situations for the worst. Also, the way he closes the physical distance between us. When he is close enough that I can smell him and feel his body heat, it is like an electrical charge. Gives me shivers. Story 43. Not my partner, but my ex-boyfriend. When we used to hold hands sometimes, he'd grip onto mine quite tightly. Not enough for it to hurt at all, but in an almost possessive sort of way, you know? Story 44. He never ever yells at our dogs when they do something bad. He sits them down and has little chats very calmly and lovingly and asks them why they are upset. Then he encourages them to do better next time. It's just a testament to who he is as a person, a man with a heart as big as the moon. Story 45. Holds my hand while he is driving and just randomly kisses it sometimes. Every morning when he walks around our house in his briefs getting ready for work, wearing his cap backwards. Pretty much any time he smiles at me, I melt. Very happily married. Story 46. When she giggles uncontrollably and ends up wheezing and snorting. When she checks that I am still there beside her when she is asleep. When I see her first thing in the morning. When she wears my hoodies. When she reassures me that I am good enough. It may seem small, but men need this. I am so damn thankful that she has come into my life. She is everything. Story 47. When she wakes up and I see her bright blue eyes shine, and she slowly cracks a smile. Even though we are married and have been together 3 years, I get intimidated by how beautiful she is. Story 48. I'm not a super visual person when it comes to attraction. My partner always makes me feel beautiful no matter what, and also takes care of all the trash every week no matter what. I am not even sure what day the trash is picked up at this point. Call me crazy, but him taking care of things in that way is super hot.